And I've had opportunities to reflect. And you know, when I think if I summed up a life's work in Stamford, or at least the equivalents of a life's work in Stamford, so many of the achievements that I would put at the very top are education related. You know that I believe in universal pre-kindergarten, that no child should ever be denied a pre-kindergarten learning experience because of their financial circumstances. And we went so far doing that at Stamford. We also recognize, well before other people did, that children, parents, young people needed an option, a menu of opportunities to choose between. And so the idea that we have a AITE created in a span of 6 months, because that's how quickly we did it. And shortly later we had Trailblazers for middle schools, and shortly later we had Stamford Academy for high school students. All of those things are really quite remarkable when you think about that. What we're saying is, here are your options. We trust you. You're bright enough. You're hardworking enough. We can give you a style of education that will match your needs. We do that in our magnet school programs and in our conventional schools. We do it in our high schools. Somehow, some way, this place in Stamford, and I mean this because I move around the state. Somehow, collectively, we've done here what only perhaps a handful of places in the United States have actually done. We have an urban school system performing at a higher rate than most other urban, actually just about any other urban school system in the nation. We did it by homegrown talent. We did it by inviting people into our community. We took the best of concepts and ideas. We pressed ahead in circumstances that would have led to other communities not supporting an urban educational system. You know, a tipping point. You know, most of us in the 70s and 80s and 90s thought about tipping points. There's no tipping point in America. Every child is our child. I don't care whether they're black or Hispanic or Asian, they're ours. I don't care if they're Caucasian, they're ours. And that's what Stamford is. We embrace everyone. We understand it is our obligation to lift up everyone, to give opportunities to everyone. You know, in my own environment, I remember Mrs. Sweeney, my kindergarten teacher. I remember Mrs. Mitchell, my 4th grade teacher, who perhaps was in many ways most important to allowing me, when I was not successful, to live to the day that I might be successful. I remember Mrs. Simone at Stamford High School. I remember Jack Leventhal, crazy as he was, Jack Leventhal at West Hill High School. I have these experiences. So, you know, sometimes people say, well, why are you so committed to education? Why do you believe in universal pre-K? Why do you believe that every child should have a menu to choose from? Why do you believe that we should spend as much money as we do? Why did you put all that $271 million back in the budget to make sure that ECS was taken care of? Why did you bring homeless into our community? When people say things like that, I simply say that's because I was a product of this very special place. The place that adopted our lieutenant governor, the place that allowed me to reach a level of success that many would not have thought would be possible. I understand that the strength of our democracy is the strength of our public educational system, and I understand that in our city you represent that strength. Don't ever give up. Don't ever let someone take you in a different direction. Do not allow anyone to say, well, because we're not living up to the expectation of today, that we should give up. We will never give up in this community. The mayor needs to know that. The superintendent needs to know that. All the members of the Board of Ed, the Board of Finance, and the Board of Representatives need to know that Stamford remains committed. We are a city on a hill. We believe what we said. We remain committed to the best public education system that an urban community can provide. And more importantly than any of those words, we have the product to prove it. Thank you very much.